The price of building wealth. What it really takes to create and sustain wealth. Dr. Walubita Siyanga. Copyright 2023, Dr. Walubita Siyanga Publishing. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced in any form or by any electronic or mechanical means, including storage and retrieval systems, without permissions in writing from the publisher, except by a reviewer who may quote brief passages in a review. The pursuit of wealth is often glamorized as a journey paved with the gold of opportune moments and the silver of wise investments. But beneath the glistening surface lie the less glamorous, often unspoken costs of building and sustaining a fortune. The price of building wealth. What it really takes to create and sustain wealth is not just another manual on how to accumulate financial assets. It is an unflinching examination of the sacrifices, risks, and relentless dedication required to achieve and maintain prosperity. Through candid narratives, empirical evidence, and the distilled wisdom of those who have navigated the tumultuous waters of wealth creation, we will delve deep into what it really takes and what it really costs to reach the economic excellence that many aspire to. The creation of wealth is often likened to climbing a mountain. It is an art metaphor, not just because of the peak that symbolizes ultimate success, but because of the perilous journey it represents. The ascent to financial heights involves navigating through the dense forests of decision-making, enduring the unpredictable weather of market forces, and confronting the wildlife of competitive endeavors. The price paid is not merely measured in currency, but in the hours of lost sleep, the missed milestones of family life, and the personal dreams deferred along the way. Moreover, the sustenance of wealth, a challenge as formidable as its creation, requires a different set of skills altogether. It involves the strategic allocation of resources, the maintenance of discipline in the face of abundance, and the ethical considerations that come with power and influence. The guardianship of wealth is a responsibility laden with its own costs, from the personal to the societal. In these pages, we will explore the financial strategies and personal sacrifices of those who have reached the pinnacles of fiscal success. We will delve into the psychological impact of wealth on individuals and their relationships. We will investigate the societal costs, looking at the roles that luck, timing, and privilege play in wealth accumulation. We will also discuss the price of losing wealth, not just the financial repercussions, but the psychological and social impacts as well. The price of building wealth is not intended to dissuade you from your aspirations. Rather, it is designed to arm you with the knowledge and insight to approach your journey with eyes wide open. As you turn these pages, prepare to look beyond the facade of wealth and understand the full spectrum of what it demands. The path to riches is more complex than the world would have you believe, and the price of building wealth extends far beyond the balance sheet. Welcome to the real story behind the numbers. Welcome to the price of building wealth, what it really takes to create and sustain wealth. The illusion of overnight success. In an age where stories of sudden wealth and meteoric rises to financial stardom dominate the headlines, it's easy to be seduced by the illusion of overnight success. The tantalizing tales of tech billionaires who catapulted to wealth with a single brilliant idea, or traders who turned a few bold bets into fortunes, resonate in the collective imagination, suggesting that such triumphs are just one inspired moment away. However, these narratives often obscure the complete picture, glossing over the gritty, less glamorous groundwork that paved the way for such success. In this chapter, we will peel back the layers of this illusion and lay bare the truth about wealth, the unyielding reality of long-term commitment. Society loves a rags to riches story. It's a storyline that features prominently in media, films, and folklore, reinforcing the notion that wealth can be achieved swiftly and with seemingly minimal effort. This myth is further amplified by social media, where snapshots of luxury and stories of quick fortunes are broadcast to millions, often without context or background. But as much as these stories are celebrated, they are the outliers, not the norms. The concept of overnight success is, in many cases, a misnomer. If we were to rewind the tape on any such story, we would likely find years of trial, error, learning, and persistent toil. For every individual who has seemingly burst into the financial stratosphere without warning, there are countless hours of unseen labor. These efforts are not always linear. They involve setbacks and stumbles that are rarely highlighted in the spotlight of success. Time is the silent partner in every success story. It is the incubator of ideas, the refiner of skills, and the ultimate test of strategies. The cultivation of wealth typically demands an incubation period far longer than the public narrative suggests. This period involves developing expertise, building networks, iterating products, and often simply waiting for the right convergence of market conditions. Time investment is the foundational cost of wealth building that is all too often omitted from the popular narratives. Researchers have often cited the 10-year rule or the 10,000-hour rule as a benchmark for achieving mastery in a field, which is frequently a precursor to substantial wealth creation. This rule posits that it takes approximately 10 years or 10,000 hours of practice to achieve a level of mastery associated with being a world-class expert in anything. Most overnight successes have put in their time in one form or another, even if their stories are often condensed into sound bites and headlines that make it seem as if their fortunes were made in a flash. Behind the facade of rapid achievement lies a truth that is less appealing but more empowering. Sustained commitment is the engine of wealth creation. This commitment often means postponing gratification, maintaining discipline, and keeping sight of long-term goals over immediate pleasures. The path to wealth is frequently marked by sacrifice of time, personal life, and often the comfort of a stable income. Wealth in many ways is the result of the compound effect. Small, consistent actions, wise decisions, and incremental improvement compound over time to create outcomes that can seem sudden to the casual observer. But to the architect of such wealth, each step was deliberate, each decision meaningful, and each sacrifice necessary. As we close this chapter, it's crucial to confront the allure of overnight success with a healthy dose of reality. Building wealth is more akin to running a marathon than a sprint. It requires endurance, strategy, and above all, an understanding that there are no shortcuts. As we journey through the pages of this book, we will continually revisit the central theme of commitment, the quiet, unwavering force that truly drives the creation and sustenance of wealth. The currency of time. In the pursuit of wealth, there is one commodity more precious than gold, more scarce than diamonds, and more sought after than the rarest of artworks. Time. It is the universal currency by which all actions are measured and the foundational cost of wealth building. This chapter delves into the role that time plays in the creation of wealth, the necessity of investing it wisely, and the art of balancing it against life's other demands. The maxim, "time is money," holds a deep truth in the context of wealth building. Just as money can be invested to yield financial returns, so can time be invested to generate wealth. However, unlike financial capital, time, once spent, can never be replenished. This irreversible nature of time demands that we approach it with the utmost reverence and strategic thought. When aspiring wealth builders consider their investments, they often think in terms of dollars and cents, stocks and bonds, real estate and businesses. But before any of these financial tools can be leveraged, an investment of time is required. Learning, planning, executing, and refining all these essential steps consume time before they ever consume money. There exists a paradox at the heart of time investments. While not all efforts yield immediate returns, no returns are possible without initial effort. Early on in the wealth building journey, vast amounts of time are spent laying the groundwork with no guarantee of success. It is a period characterized by effort without the immediate gratification or financial reward, which can be a formidable test of one's commitment. This phase is critical because it involves acquiring knowledge, developing skills, and establishing networks, all of which consume time but are indispensable assets in the wealth building arsenal. The time-effort paradox is reconciled by understanding that wealth building is a cumulative process where early time investments lay the seeds for future prosperity. The decision of where to invest one's time can have an outsized impact on the outcome of wealth building endeavors. Prioritizing activities that have the highest potential return on investment is key. This often means focusing on self-education, seeking out mentorship, and applying skills in the most lucrative and impactful ways possible. Entrepreneurs must learn to discern between busy work and productive work. The former consumes time without moving one significantly closer to wealth goals, while the latter involves focused action that directly build towards financial success. The ability to say no to low-yield tasks and yes to high-impact opportunities is a critical skill in optimizing time investment. Patience is the guardian of time. In a culture obsessed with speed and instant gratification, patience stands as a beacon of wisdom, reminding us that meaningful wealth accumulation is a process that unfolds over years, not days. Patience encourages us to view time as a canvas on which long-term plans can be drawn and executed with care. As individuals progress along wealth building path, they often reach a juncture where their time becomes too valuable to be spent on certain tasks. This is where the art of delegation comes into play. By entrusting tasks to others, successful wealth builders can leverage their time, focusing on high-level strategic thinking and relationship building that typically cannot be outsourced. Lastly, time is the measure by which one's legacy is built. The consideration of how one's time on earth has been spent will ultimately define the legacy left behind. Wealth builders must consider not only how their time investment will affect their personal wealth, but also how they will impact the world and the generations that follow. Risk and resilience. At the heart of every wealth building story, there lies an essential and often daunting element: risk. It is the pulse behind investment decisions, the shadow that trails innovation, and the weight within the scales of reward. Understanding the intrinsic relationship between risk and reward is a fundamental principle of wealth creation. This chapter explores that delicate balance and the resilience required to navigate it. The symbiosis between risk and reward is a basic economic principle. The potential for higher returns comes with a greater likelihood of taking risks. This balance is a constant dance where wealth builders must gauge how much uncertainty they are willing to embrace to achieve the desired outcomes. Taking risks in wealth creation is less about bold gambles and more about calculated decisions. Wealth builders must develop the acumen to evaluate potential risks, looking at historical data, market conditions, and future projections. This assessment is not purely quantitative. It involves intuition, experience, and sometimes the wisdom to recognize the unknowns. Risk tolerance varies from person to person. It is shaped by one's financial goals, stage of life, emotional capacity, and even cultural background. Understanding your personal risk tolerance is a process that involves introspection and sometimes the hard lessons learned from past experiences. Self-awareness of one's risk tolerance is a continuous process, as it can evolve with changing life circumstances and broader economic conditions. The journey of wealth creation is rarely smooth sailing. It is marked by storms and unpredictability. Resilience is the quality that allows wealth builders to withstand the inevitable downturns and setbacks. It involves the ability to recover from losses, learn from mistakes, and persist in the face of challenges. Resilience also means maintaining a long-term perspective amid short-term fluctuations. The markets may waver and businesses may falter, but a resilient mindset keeps the vision clear and the will unbroken. Risk can take a toll not just on financial statements, but on emotional well-being. The stress of potential loss, the fear of failure, and the pressure of uncertainty can be overwhelming. Building emotional resilience is therefore crucial. This includes cultivating a support system, engaging in stress relief activities, and sometimes seeking professional guidance. Every risk taken that results in failure is not just a loss, but an opportunity to learn. Resilient wealth builders use these experiences to create a feedback loop that informs future decisions. By analyzing what went wrong, what could be done differently, and how to improve risk assessment processes, they turn setbacks into stepping stones. Risk cannot be removed from the equation of wealth creation, but it can be managed, measured, and mitigated. Resilience, both financial and emotional, is the complement to risk that allows wealth builders to endure and evolve through the highs and lows of the journey. The sacrifices behind the scenes. Behind the gilded facade of wealth lies unseen sacrifices. The pursuit of substantial financial gain is seldom a tale of mere accumulation. It is often one of the renunciation. In this chapter, we confront the less talked about yet omnipresent aspect of wealth creation sacrifice. We assess the choices that individuals face, the things they relinquish, and the determination required to forego immediate pleasures for long-term prosperity. Just as time is a currency, so too are the sacrifices made in the pursuit of wealth. They are the silent investments that don't appear on balance sheets or financial statements. These are the personal, social, and sometimes ethical currencies that wealth builders spend in the marketplace of ambition. One of the first and most profound sacrifices comes in the personal realm. Long hours, late nights, and the relentless pursuit of goals can strain relationships with family and friends. The work-life balance tips and leisure activities may fall by the wayside. To be willing to endure this, one must ask, what am I willing to put on hold or give up entirely? It's a deeply personal assessment that can define not only the journey but also the very essence of the individual undertaking it. Financial sacrifice is the cornerstone of accumulating wealth. It involves living below one's means, saving and investing rather than spending, and often enduring a standard of living that belies one's hard work. The willingness to delay gratification is a common trait among those who have built lasting wealth. Another significant sacrifice is time. The years spent building a business or climbing the career ladder are years not spent elsewhere. Missed birthdays, holidays, and milestones often litter the path of success. It raises the question, is the trade-off worth it? The answer varies, but those who have succeeded in creating wealth often cite a clear vision and a deep sense of purpose as justifications for their choices. Pursuing wealth can take a physical toll. Long hours at the office, constant stress, and the sedentary nature of many jobs can impact physical health. Mental health can suffer from the pressure and isolation that sometimes accompanies intense focus and ambition. Recognizing and managing these sacrifices is crucial, as health is perhaps the most precious asset of all. Every choice in pursuit of wealth comes with opportunity costs, the roads not taken. These could be careers not pursued, education forsaken, or businesses not started. Wealth builders must consider what opportunities they are willing to pass up and be at peace with the potential what-ifs that accompany those decisions. There are sacrifices that defy quantification, the stress that doesn't slow up in a ledger, the moments of self-doubt that come uninvited in the quiet hours, the personal growth that occurs in the face of adversity, and the depth of character forged in the fire of sustained effort. Understanding and assessing one's willingness to make sacrifices is a fundamental step in wealth creation. It requires honest self-evaluation and often a dialogue with loved ones who will be affected by these decisions. The willingness to sacrifice is not static. It must be revisited as circumstances change and goals evolve. The sacrifices behind the scenes of wealth creation are the untold part of the success narrative. They are the hidden costs that must be acknowledged and respected. This chapter serves as a reminder that intangible sacrifices are equally critical to understanding what it truly takes to build and sustain wealth. Emotional economics. In the relentless quest for financial prosperity, the ledger of emotional well-being can often slip into deficits. While wealth is quantified by tangible assets, the emotional journey to its acquisition and its maintenance is a less visible, though not less critical account. Wealth may be seen as a panacea, a universal salve for life's ills, yet its pursuit can impose psychological strains. Anxiety over investments, the burden of expectation, and the ever-present fear of loss. Moreover, the maintenance of wealth introduces its own set of stresses: the vigilance against complacency, the management of wealth's impact on personal relationships, and the existential weight of ensuring its lasting significance. Stress is an omnipresent companion on the wealth-building journey, often duped the silent tax on one's health and happiness. It arises from the uncertainty of markets, the performance pressure of ventures, and the constant demand for decision-making. To cope, wealth builders must become adept at stress management through physical activity, mindfulness practices, the development of resilience. Recognizing stress as an inevitable but manageable factor can transform it from a liability into a catalyst for growth. Relationships are the emotional investments that can offer the highest returns in terms of support, happiness, and life satisfaction. However, they can also suffer from neglect in the face of wealth-building activities. Maintaining a balance where personal connections are nurtured in tandem with financial pursuits is vital. It may require difficult choices and a re-evaluation of priorities, but the dividends paid in emotional stability and support are invaluable. The state of one's mental health is the bedrock of any endeavor. The highs and lows of the wealth journey can mirror the vicissitudes of mental well-being. Depression, anxiety, and burnout are real risks that can undermine both personal happiness and financial success. Wealth creators must treat their mental health as an asset, investing in it through self-care, professional support when necessary, and the cultivation of a mindset equipped for adversity. Ironically, prosperity can lead to psychological challenges. The paradox of prosperity lies in the discovery that wealth does not necessarily equate to emotional fulfillment. Wealth builders must confront this paradox, often necessitating a recalibration of what constitutes true success. This recalibration is deeply personal, involving a reassessment of values, goals, and definitions of achievement. Change is the only constant in the landscape of wealth. How one adapts to the psychological demands of change, whether it be sudden market shifts, personal life transitions, or evolving social dynamics, can define the emotional tenor of the wealth experience. Embracing adaptability and cultivating an agile mindset can serve as buffers against the potential emotional dissonance brought on by change. Self-knowledge is a powerful tool in the emotional economics of wealth. Understanding personal triggers for stress, recognizing the signs of mental fatigue, and being aware of one's limits can help in setting boundaries and taking proactive steps to maintain emotional equilibrium. The field of financial therapy, which examines the intersection of emotional health and financial decision-making, has gained prominence as more individuals seek to understand the emotional undercurrents of their financial behaviors. For many, this holistic approach can lead to healthier attitudes towards wealth and its role in life. The road to wealth is as much an emotional journey as a financial one. The psychological price paid along the way can be steep, but with awareness and intentional strategies, it can be managed. As we forge ahead into the deeper realms of wealth building, we will see that success is not just measured in the accumulation of assets, but also in the maintenance of emotional and psychological richness. Building the ecosystem of wealth. The creation of wealth is rarely an isolated endeavor. It flourishes within a complex ecosystem of relationships, mentorships, and networks that provide a fertile ground for financial growth and stability. This chapter explores the vital role of social capital in wealth creation, how cultivating relationships with mentors, peers, and professional networks can both accelerate and solidify the path to financial prosperity. Social capital refers to the intangible resources available through one's social networks, including relationships, affiliations, and memberships in various groups. In the context of wealth building, it encompasses the support, information, and opportunities that these connections can provide. Just as financial capital is vital for investment in assets, social capital is crucial for navigating the social complexities of wealth creation. Professional and personal networks act as webs of opportunity, capturing chances that might otherwise pass unnoticed. These networks are conducive for information, advice, and introductions to potential partners, clients, or investors. They can open doors to exclusive deals, investment opportunities, and knowledge about emerging market trends. Effective networkers understand the reciprocity involved in these relationships. Providing value is just as important as receiving it. Mentors play a pivotal role in the ecosystem of wealth. They offer guidance drawn from experience, helping to navigate the pitfalls and challenges of wealth creation. A good mentor can accelerate the learning curve significantly, offering tailored advice that no book or course can replicate. The mentor-mentee relationship, built on trust and respect, can evolve into a lifelong bond that continues to pay dividends long after initial goals are met. Peers, fellow entrepreneurs, colleagues in the same industry, or members of investment circles provide a collective strength. They are the sounding boards for ideas, the support group during tough times, and often the litmus test for one's strategies and decisions. Peer groups encourage healthy competition, motivate personal growth, and can collaborate to create opportunities that might be unreachable individually. Wealth often operates within exclusive circles where entry is predicated not just on having capital but on who you know. These circles can include high-stakes investment groups, elite business clubs, or philanthropic organizations. Access to these groups can mean access to wealth-building opportunities that are not publicly available, thus highlighting the importance of building a robust social network. Building social capital requires a strategic approach. It involves identifying and engaging with relevant networks, being proactive in community involvement, attending industry events, and leveraging social media platforms. The aim is to not only expand one's network but also to deepen existing connections by offering value and demonstrating expertise. Sustaining social capital is as critical as building it. This involves maintaining regular contact, providing assistance to connections, and staying relevant in one's network. It is also about personal branding, developing a reputation as someone who is knowledgeable, reliable, and beneficial to know. While social capital is an asset, it is not without its challenges. Networking can be time-consuming, and not all relationships will prove beneficial. There is also the risk of becoming too reliant on networks, which could lead to a lack of self-reliance or the inadvertent neglect of other aspects of wealth building. The ecosystem of wealth is a dynamic and complex interplay of relationships and resources. It is an essential aspect of wealth creation, providing a support system that can make the difference between success and failure. As we continue to explore the multifaceted process of building wealth, we will see how the threads of social capital weave through every other element, strengthening and supporting the entire structure. The opportunity cost. At the heart of every decision in the journey of wealth lies an often overlooked factor: opportunity cost. This concept is not merely an economic principle. It is a fundamental aspect of life's choices, especially poignant in the context of wealth creation. Understanding opportunity cost involves recognizing the value of the paths not taken and the options foregone when a decision is made. Opportunity cost is the potential benefit that is given up when one alternative is selected over another. In wealth creation, this could mean choosing to invest in one venture over another, or it might mean the broader life choices that affect one's financial future, such as the decision to pursue further education versus immediate entry into the workforce. Wealth building is often a balancing act between present sacrifices and future gains. It might involve foregoing immediate pleasures, such as luxury purchases or extravagant holidays, in favor of long-term investments. Each decision carries with it the weight of what is relinquished. The successful wealth builder must become adept at assessing not just the apparent cost, but also the hidden opportunity costs of their choices. The choices made today can have far-reaching implications. For instance, the decision to invest in a rapidly growing industry may mean missing out on the steady returns of more traditional investments. Conversely, playing it safe could mean missing out on the high returns of a more speculative opportunity. Understanding these long-term implications is key to making choices that align with one's overall wealth strategy. Opportunity costs are not only financial, but also personal and emotional. The pursuit of wealth can mean less time spent with family, the postponement of personal goals, or the delay of life milestones, such as starting a family or pursuing a passion project. Acknowledging these non-financial opportunity costs is essential in measuring the true value of wealth building efforts. While some opportunity costs are clear and quantifiable, others are intangible and more challenging to measure. Developing a method of assessing both the tangible and intangible costs will lead to more rounded decision-making. This might involve financial projections for investments, evaluations of personal happiness and fulfillment. Informed decision-making is about more than analyzing data and projections. It's also about introspection and aligning decisions with one's values and long-term goals. It requires a careful consideration of both the financial and personal dimensions of opportunity cost. Hindsight can cast opportunity costs in a revealing light, often bringing regret or validation. However, a wealth builder must resist the temptation to judge past decisions harshly based on new information. Instead, they should learn from past outcomes to improve future decision-making processes. The path to wealth is littered with missed opportunities. Embracing these as part of the journey is essential. Wealth is not only built on the opportunities seized, but also on those that are passed by. Wisdom lies in the understanding that not all opportunities are aligned with one's path of purpose. Opportunity costs are an intrinsic part of the wealth building process. They shape the contours of one's financial landscape, often in subtle yet profound ways. By recognizing and thoughtfully considering these costs, individuals can forge a path to wealth that is not only financially successful but also personally fulfilling. Wealth and its discontents. Wealth is often portrayed as the ultimate goal, a financial destination that promises a life of ease and fulfillment. However, for those who have navigated the labyrinth to financial success, wealth can also bring with it a host of challenges. Burnouts, isolation, and family pressures are the shadow companions of wealth that seldom get mentioned in the celebratory narratives. This chapter peers into the downside of wealth, offering coping strategies and guidance on maintaining personal relationships amidst affluence. The path to wealth is strewn with long hours, relentless stress, and unyielding pressure to perform. This intense focus can lead to burnout, a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. Burnout saps the joy from achievements and can leave individuals feeling empty regardless of their financial status. Isolation is another ironic companion of wealth. As individuals climb higher on the ladder of success, they may find that the number of people they can truly relate to diminishes. Old friends may fall away, unable to bridge the growing gap in life experiences, while new acquaintances may be motivated by self-interest rather than genuine connection. Family dynamics can shift dramatically with the advent of wealth. Expectations rise, demands increase, and relationships can strain under the weight of perceived obligations and entitlements. The pressure to maintain wealth for the sake of family security can become a burden that challenges the very fabric of family life. The first step in coping with burnout is recognition. Acknowledging the problem is the key to addressing it. Strategies to combat burnout include establishing boundaries to protect personal time, delegating responsibilities, and rediscovering passions outside of work. It's also essential to prioritize self-care, ensuring adequate rest, nutrition, and exercise. Building and maintaining genuine relationships require effort, especially in the context of wealth. It's important to cultivate interests that allow for connection on a level beyond financial success. Community service, hobbies, and clubs can provide opportunities to meet people with similar interests, fostering relationships based on shared values and experiences. Navigating the complex waters of family pressures requires open communication and the setting of clear expectations. Open communication is the cornerstone of maintaining healthy relationships amid wealth. It involves having frank conversations about the challenges and responsibilities that come with money and ensuring that every family member feels heard and valued. Wealth can cause a disconnection from the grounded realities of everyday life. Staying involved in community activities, maintaining a simple lifestyle, and practicing gratitude can help keep one grounded. Reframing wealth as a tool for achieving goals rather than an end in itself can shift one's perspective. It allows individuals to use wealth as a means of creating a fulfilling life that aligns with their values and aspirations. Wealth, for all its allure, brings with it a set of complex discontents that must be managed with as much diligence as the financial portfolios that define it. By implementing strategies to cope with burnout, fostering authentic relationships to combat isolation, and managing family dynamics with care, the wealthy can navigate these challenges successfully. The art of discomfort. Discomfort is often perceived as an adversary, a discomforting presence to be avoided at all costs. But what if we imagined discomfort not as the enemy, but as a sage teacher, an unlikely guide towards growth and innovation? This chapter delves into the art of embracing discomfort, exploring how the deliberate pursuit of discomfort can be a powerful catalyst for personal development, creativity, and ultimately the building of lasting wealth. In a society that often equates comfort with success, the notion of seeking out discomfort may seem counterintuitive. Yet, it is precisely through discomfort that many of the world's most successful individuals have honed their resilience, adaptability, and creativity. Discomfort forces us out of complacency, challenging us to question the status quo and seek out new solutions. Growth, whether personal, professional, or financial, is inherently uncomfortable. It requires venturing into the unknown and taking risks. To embrace discomfort as a growth tool is to accept that the path to excellence is paved with challenges and to see these challenges as opportunities to expand one's capabilities and reach. The relationship between discomfort and creativity is well documented. Discomfort dismantles the familiar, creating a void where innovation can thrive. It is in the disquiet and unresolved problems and the tension of unsatisfied needs that creativity finds its most potent expression. For wealth builders and entrepreneurs, embracing this creative discomfort can lead to groundbreaking ideas and novel solutions. Discomfort often accompanies failure, but within that experience lies invaluable lessons. Embracing failure as a part of the learning process fosters resilience and a growth mindset. The willingness to fail and learn from the experience is a hallmark of many successful wealth creators. Embracing discomfort can also have psychological benefits, activating the body's stress responses in a positive way, sharpening focus, and increasing energy levels. This state, often referred to as eustress, contrasts with distress and can improve performance and drive. The long-term rewards of embracing discomfort are significant. Those who regularly step outside their comfort zone report higher satisfaction levels, greater self-confidence, and a stronger sense of purpose. They are often the pioneers in their fields, leading the charge towards innovation and progress. The art of discomfort is a vital tool in the wealth builder's toolkit. By embracing the discomfort that comes with growth, learning to push through pain, and harnessing the role of discomfort in driving innovation and creativity, individuals set themselves on a trajectory towards not just financial success, but a richer, more fulfilling life experience. Learning to knock on closed doors. In the architecture of success, doors represent opportunities, the passageways leading to potential growth, relationships, and wealth. However, not all doors are invitingly open. Many are closed, presenting an intimidating barrier between you and your aspirations. Each door in the journey to wealth creation symbolizes an opportunity for advancement, be it a new business venture, a networking event, or a potential investment. While open doors beckon with ease, it's the closed doors, those that represent the greater challenges, that often lead to the most significant breakthroughs. Knocking on a closed door is an act of courage. It's about making your presence known and experiencing a desire to enter. The process begins with preparation, understanding why the door may be closed, what you offer, and why you deserve entry. Then, with confidence and clarity, you knock. Your pitch or proposal must be compelling. It should communicate not just your needs, but how opening the door will benefit the gatekeeper. Research, refine, and rehearse your knock, making it as persuasive as possible. Persistence is key in the face of closed doors. A useful approach is the 3-knock rule. The first knock is your initial attempt, which, if unsuccessful, is followed by a second, more creative approach. The third should be your strongest, most strategic effort. If after 3 attempts the door remains closed, it may be time to reassess. Not every closed door is meant to be opened. Part of the journey is learning to recognize when persistence turns into futility. This realization is crucial, and pivoting is not a sign of failure, but of intelligence. It means re-evaluating your path and redirecting your efforts towards those that align with your vision. Pivoting requires you to retain the lessons learned from the closed doors while adjusting your strategy or direction. It's a deliberate process, one that should be executed with as much planning and precision as the original plan. Rejection is an inevitable part of knocking on closed doors, yet there is grace to be found in those moments. Each rejection offers data, providing insights into the market, your approach, and your energy. Analyzing and learning from these experiences is what ultimately turns rejections into opportunities. Behind every no lies a reason. Embrace it. Seek feedback and use it to refine your approach. A no can sometimes lead to a more suitable path or can be the catalyst for innovation, forcing you to think outside the box and come up with a solution you otherwise might not have considered. Sometimes the right no comes from someone else's hand. Networking can provide you with allies who can open doors on your behalf. Cultivating genuine relationships within your industry can lead to allies who are willing to vouch for you and lend their influence to your cause. The skills and resilience developed from facing closed doors are invaluable. They teach patience, tenacity, and creativity, qualities that are indispensable in wealth creation. Every closed door reshapes you, making you more adaptable, more prepared, and more determined. Closed doors are not full stops in the narrative of wealth creation. They are commas, pauses that invite reflection, strategy, and sometimes redirection. Learning to knock on closed doors with determination, to pivot when necessary, and to use rejection as a tool for growth is an integral part of wealth building journey. Bold steps forward. Maintaining momentum and motivation in the journey towards building wealth is akin to navigating a complex labyrinth. It requires both the foresight of a strategist and the heart of a visionary. As you chart your course through the intricate corridors of financial growth, it becomes imperative to not only take bold steps forward, but also to sustain the vigor and determination that set your feet in motion. This chapter offers guidance on preserving your drive and keeping the wheels of progress turning. Establishing a route is essential for maintaining momentum. It transforms your daily practices into rituals of success. A well-structured routine provides a framework that supports your goals and keeps distractions at bay. Within this rhythm, prioritize tasks that move the needle, those that have the greatest impact on your wealth building journey. While long-term goals provide direction, it is the micro goals, the small, achievable objectives that create momentum. They serve as stepping stones, each one propelling you forward and providing a sense of accomplishment. Celebrate these victories, no matter how small, to fuel your motivation. Measuring progress is crucial for maintaining momentum. Keep a record of your achievement and setbacks. This tracking serves as a navigational tool, showing you how far you've come and what adjustments are needed to stay on course. In the realm of wealth creation, complacency is the enemy of progress. To maintain momentum, you must nurture a perpetual hunger for growth. Invest in continuous learning, be it through books, courses, or mentorship. The knowledge you acquire will not only advance your goals but will also keep your motivation alight. The path to building wealth is fraught with challenges. Cultivating resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, is vital. When faced with setbacks, view them as temporary obstacles rather than permanent impediments. Resilience will help you bounce back with greater force. Flexibility in your approach allows you to maintain momentum even when unexpected changes occur. Be willing to pivot and adapt your strategies in response to the shifting landscapes of the market and your life. Adaptability ensures that when one door closes, you're ready to sprint through another that opens. Surround yourself with a community that supports and inspires you. The collective energy of a group that shares your aspirations can reinforce your motivation. Network within communities that challenge you to grow and hold you accountable. Technology can be a powerful ally in maintaining momentum. Use tools and apps designed for productivity and wealth management. Automate where possible to ensure consistent action and free your mind for more strategic tasks. Whenever motivation wins, return to your why, the core reason behind your pursuit of wealth. This powerful reminder of your ultimate purpose can reignite your passion and spur your onward. Bold steps forward are made by the relentless refinement of routine, the setting and celebrating of micro goals, the vigilant tracking of progress, and the cultivation of resilience and adaptability. By harnessing the power of community, leveraging technology, practicing mindfulness, and staying connected to your why, you can sustain momentum that will carry you across the finish line of your wealth building journey. The fabric of fortitude, sweat, tears, and resilience in wealth creation. In the grand tapestry of wealth creation, threads of sweat, equity, pain, tears, and heartaches are as central to the narrative as the golden fibers of success and triumph. This chapter delves into the less glamorous yet profoundly real aspects of building wealth. The personal investments that don't necessarily show up on balance sheets but are pivotal in the grand scheme of financial success. Sweat equity represents the toil and personal effort that one invests into a venture. It's the long nights, the early mornings, and the weekends spent working when the world rests. It is about rolling up your sleeves and delving into the work that needs to be done without immediate financial reward, betting on future payoffs. Pain is an inherent part of growth, and in the realm of wealth creation, it often comes in the form of sacrifice. Choosing to invest rather than consume, to work rather than play, to learn instead of leisure. These choices are fraught with a pain that is the antithesis of instant gratification. We explore the nuances of these sacrifices, the foresight required to endure them, and the strategies to manage and mitigate their toll on our daily lives. Wealth creation is not a linear path, and it is dotted with frustrations and failures as much as it is with victories. Tears often accompany the bitter moments when deals fall through, when markets crash, or when ventures fail. This section is a candid examination of the emotional costs of striving for financial success and how the tears shed can become prisms through which to see new perspectives and gain insights. With great risks comes the potential for great reward, but also for profound heartache. The heartaches come from risks that don't pan out, from the loss of security when leaping into the unknown, and from the strain that these endeavors can place on personal relationships. Here we discuss how to cope with these heartaches, how to prepare for them, and how to emerge stronger on the other side. Endurance is the crucible that tempers the spirit of the wealth creator. It's about staying the course even when the burden feels too heavy to bear. This chapter provides encouragement and practical advice for cultivating the endurance needed to persist, from mental fortitude practices to maintaining physical health and emotional well-being. Despite its challenges, there is a silver lining to the struggle. It often forges a resilience and depth of character that can be achieved in no other way. The lessons learned through hardship are invaluable, imparting wisdom that can be leveraged for future success. We dissect the positive byproducts of the hardships faced on the road to wealth. The culmination of these experiences, the sweat, the tears, the pain, and the heartaches, amalgamates into wisdom. The reality of sweat equity, pain, tears, and heartaches is a significant investment in the pursuit of wealth. It is a narrative that requires recognition and respect. This chapter is not merely about acknowledging the challenges, but also about understanding their intrinsic value in the wealth creation process. Through this lens, the struggle transforms from a series of obstacles to a set of stepping stones, paving the way to success, imbuing the journey with a profound sense of purpose and accomplishment. Beyond the ordinary. Unraveling the psychology of contentment and courage to break free. The human psyche is a landscape of complex terrains, where the valleys of comfort intertwine with the peaks of aspiration. Many find solace in the valley, in the lush simplicity of the ordinary, a place where life is predictable, and the heart is untroubled by the pangs of unmet dreams. This chapter delves into the psychology behind the choice to settle for ordinary and provides a blueprint for those yearning to break free from the confines of contentment to reach for the extraordinary. Why do some choose the familiar path, avoiding the risks that come with reaching for more? The ordinary is seductive in its security. It offers a refuge from the fear of failure and the unknown. We examine how the human brain is wired to seek safety and how this can lead to a life of contentment without reaching one's full potential. Fear is a formidable gatekeeper to the extraordinary. The dread of uncertainty, of judgment, and the potential for loss often shackles desire for a different life. Understanding the root of these fears is the first step in overcoming them. This section uncovers the psychological mechanisms of fear and how it influences our decisions. The quest for societal approval can be a siren song, luring individuals away from their unique paths. We explore how societal norms and expectations can lead to a collective consciousness that praises the ordinary and eschews the extraordinary. The chapter offers insights into resisting the pull of societal approval to forge one's path. The notion of enough is a psychological construct that often dictates the boundaries of our aspirations when it comes to human achievement and fulfillment. Here, we challenge the myth of enough and explore the concepts of abundance in personal growth. Breaking free from the ordinary begins with a conscious decision. It requires a shift in mindset from what is to what could be. We outline the initial steps needed to embark on this journey, including self-assessment, vision creation, and the setting of intentions. Growth lives in the realm of discomfort. To break free from the ordinary, one must not only accept discomfort but seek it out as a catalyst for change. This section provides strategies for building resilience and finding comfort in the uncomfortable. Passion and purpose are potent motivators that can propel individuals from the ordinary into the extraordinary. When aligned with one's actions, they can break the inertia of contentment. We discuss how to discover your passions and align them with a sense of purpose. The journey from the ordinary to the extraordinary is marked by small victories. Recognizing and celebrating these milestones is crucial for maintaining momentum. This part of the chapter focuses on the power of gratitude and acknowledgement in the transformation process. Breaking free is not a one-time act, but a continuous process. Sustaining momentum requires perseverance, adaptability, and a commitment to lifelong learning. We delve into the habits and mindsets that keep the fire of progress burning. Settling for the ordinary is often a choice made by default, not by design. This chapter is a call to action for those who yearn for more, to embrace the extraordinary within and pursue a life beyond the confines of the ordinary. It is a journey that begins with understanding the psychological underpinnings of contentment and culminates in the relentless pursuit of personal evolution. By confronting fears, challenging societal norms, and embracing a growth mindset, one can transform the ordinary into an extraordinary canvas of limitless possibility. The true worth of wealth: reconciling the price paid with the value gained. In the concluding chapter of The Price of Building Wealth, what it really takes to create and sustain wealth, we come full circle, reflecting on the myriad of costs associated with wealth creation and the intrinsic value it holds. The journey through these pages has not been one of cautionary tales alone, but rather an exploration of the multifaceted investment that wealth demands from the individual. The pursuit of wealth teaches lessons that extend beyond the ledgers and portfolios. It teaches about the depths of our resilience, the strength of our convictions, and the power of our ambitions. These lessons are invaluable, not only in the context of accumulating wealth, but as fundamental life principles that enrich the individual beyond material success. Wealth, as we've learned, is not merely a sum of assets. It is a resource that, when managed with wisdom and responsibility, has the potential to effect positive change. It can build communities, advance human knowledge, and provide the means to protect and nurture the environment. The true worth of wealth is realized in its capacity to be a force for good, a tool for innovation, and a patron for the arts and sciences. For many, the most significant return on investment is the personal growth experienced. The discipline, focus, and insight gained through the process of wealth creation are intangible assets that can pave the way for success in various other life dimensions. The legacy of wealth is a complex equation of what is left behind and what impact is made. Wealth's true value is perhaps best measured not in its accumulation, but in its dissemination through philanthropy, mentorship, and the generational transfer of not just wealth, but the values and knowledge that helped to build it. The costs incurred in this endeavor, time, relationships, peace of mind, must be weighed against the gains. For some, the balance will be overwhelmingly positive. For others, it might call for a re-evaluation of priorities. The end of this book should serve as a moment of reflection for the reader to consider this balance. As the world evolves, so too must our approach to wealth creation. Sustainable wealth is not just about longevity, but about being created and managed in a way that does not exploit or exhaust the resources it relies upon, be they environmental, social, or personal. The price of building wealth is not just a conclusion, but a commencement, a beginning of a more informed, conscious, and perhaps conscientious approach to wealth. The journey doesn't end on the final page of this book. It continues in the lives of the readers, in the decisions they make, and in the legacies they will leave. The true price of building wealth can only be fully understood by those who have paid it in full, and even then, it is a subjective appraisal. This book aimed not at discouragement, but at enlightenment, to peel back the layers of glamour and review the robust framework required to not only build wealth, but to maintain it and ensure its positive impact. As you step forth from this concluding chapter, may you carry with you the insights and knowledge to navigate your own financial journey with greater awareness and a fortified resolve to make the price you pay a worthy investment in the end. Welcome to the ongoing story of your financial future. Welcome to the next chapter, which begins now. The price of building wealth. What it really takes to create and sustain wealth. Dr. Walubita Siyanga, fondly known as Dr. Walu, is an ordained minister of the gospel. He is a dynamic speaker, accredited counselor, life coach, and corporate trainer. He is also a prominent TV and radio personality, and he also owns a trademark called My Tribe is Zambian, which he uses as an instrument to promote peace and prosperity in his country, Zambia. He is currently serving as a senior pastor in charge of ministry at Tabernacle of Power and Praise Ministries International. Dr. Walu holds several qualifications covering theology, psychology, philosophy, and planning, monitoring, and evaluation. He is happily married to Michelle Mwene Siyanga. They reside in Lusaka. Dr. Walubita Siyanga. You are listening to Amari Solutions All Things Audio, the audiobook platform. If this content was helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, and share for more content like this.